Hello, this is Robyn of Heart Guided Intuition, and I wanted to make a video that would be soothing to people for these times. I think I'm going to every so often just upload a video as I feel called to that are videos that are comforting to people, because the world is going through such a crisis right now. Anxiety is high, our fear level is high. It can be very easy to actually get swept away by that. And if you're someone who goes out a little bit, if you don't live in the city, if you go out into nature or whatever, the roads, if you go out driving, the roads are empty. Stores are closed. It's a different world. It's physically a different world than it was. I'm here in New York. I live about an hour outside of Manhattan. But I am very grateful that I live in an area where I have easy access to open spaces where I can go and enjoy nature without being around people. I can't imagine what people in cities are going through right now. So anyway, I really want to make a video that's helpful to people. So I have several things I can do, readings, not only of cards, but of books and things that I found helpful over the years. I want to read to you. I want to share with you anything that might feel comforting to you. If you need comfort, if you are alone, even if you're not alone, or if you're awake in the middle of the night, or for whatever reason you're tuning in, that you found my channel. Channel is an interesting word. Wow. I want to provide comfort in this video, and I'm going to be making more videos as well. So I think it's very interesting that I'm recording this on Palm Sunday, and I have to say I don't follow any religion. I was brought up Roman Catholic, but I do not follow any religion right now. I am very spiritual. Spirituality is a major part of my life, major aspect of my life. But this reading, I pulled a card from this oracle deck that is the Rumi Oracle. The Rumi Oracle. And some of you, or maybe all of you, have heard of Rumi. Such deep words, a resonance with the heart and with spirit. He calls the spirit beloved. The card that came out that I pulled right before I hit the record button on this video is one that people probably who are Christian or identify with the Christian religion would probably more identify with. And I was tempted to pull a different card because I don't follow any religion, and I don't want my channel to be specific to. I want it to be accessible and meaningful to anybody who watches this, okay? For the messages to somehow make sense and be meaningful, especially these videos that I want to do that are comforting. And I'm going to post them every so often as I feel called to do, which I do right now. And it's interesting because I shuffled the cards really well. And I wasn't even thinking about the fact that it's Palm Sunday. And it's Palm Sunday. It's April 5th as I'm recording this. And 2020. And we're all going through this. And the card that came up is the Cloak of Christ. So whether or not you identify with this, the idea of Christ, the message in here might offer you some comfort, okay? Apply it however it feels good to you to apply. the message. And I'm actually going to read from the book, because this Rumi Oracle, like, I usually don't use these in my tarot readings because there's so much written for each particular card. And I really love the way that they're worded. So it's kind of like I'll just do a one card reading. So if you're seeking comfort, I mean, and you might find this video like a year after I post it. You might find it, weeks, a months, years after I post it. But if you feel drawn to listen, follow that, okay? And I will read it. And please excuse any background noise there might be. My neighbors are pretty close and in proximity, to our house. And I have housemates. So hopefully that won't be too distracting. So the Cloak of Christ is actually this gorgeous card. And I did read it, but I'm going to read it to you. Just look at it for a while. Allow yourself to absorb the image. It's a very protective image. It's a very protective. Whether or not you believe in whatever you could believe in. Imagine, we can use our imaginations to imagine something like a protection around us. I'm going to read this bubble. I'm going to read this bubble. I'm going to read the bubble. I didn't mean to say that, but it came out that way. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm not going to edit it out, because this is about a bubble in a sense. Because in these times that are so unlike anything we've seen in our lifetimes, most of us, unless you're over 100 years old, we need to find ways to feel safe. When we're in a place of fear, the fight or flight response can kick in and cause us a great deal of anxiety. And that's not good for any of us. There are many ways to get through anxiety, to cope with it, to soothe yourself. And I said the word bubble for a reason. Bubbles can be soothing, like those soap bubbles we blew from a wand when we were kids. If you did that, I did that. I still do that. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm going to read this card to you, and you'll understand why I said the word bubble. Okay? And I need to put my glasses on in order to read. Okay? So this is number 4. Card 4. I hope you can hear me all right. So card 4 is the Cloak of Christ. And I'm going to read this from my heart. Okay. The Cloak of Christ. There's first a quote from Rumi. In the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the King's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine. That's a Rumi quote. Okay. So this first part is a quote as if Rumi is talking himself. He's speaking. He's saying, "My sacred brother, he who shares my heart and yours, beating as one in harmony with the great unending love, brings you the mantle of his protection. Do you imagine that there is any part of your life, of your body, of your soul, that is outside the realm of his divine love and protection? Offer all to him. Leave nothing cast aside. He and I together receive you absolutely, without condition, now." The compassion born out of our own struggles, tempers the karmic weight of divine justice. We have been through the same journey you are taking now. Sweet divine soul, in oneness with the divine heart, we know of your efforts and your struggles. So what is bestowed upon you now is the restoration of forgiveness, of kindness, and mercy. My sacred brother speaks to you. He shall receive your darkness and your light, the angel of your heart. Nothing is greater than my brother's love for you. Take refuge under the cloak of Christ, the mantle of my sacred brother, and know that you are held in our loving sanctuary. So that's the first part of the reading for this card. I'll hold it up again. It's quite beautiful. Okay, I'm going to continue reading what this card has to say. You are tired, beloved. Your soul has been ravaged inside and out, and you are succumbing to struggle that is not karmic or necessary, but a symptom of fatigue and weariness of heart, mind, body, and soul. That which plagues you, whether something specific or a general nagging malaise or anxiety you cannot quite pin down, is not as powerful as you fear. You are being given a grace here and now, that it may be overcome. Remember, your reactions are a symptom of your exhaustion and a sign that you need respite, sanctuary, restoration. They are not a sign that something must be done, so much as a sign that something must be received and allowed, that something is healing made possible through divine protection. In this instance, protection is bestowed through the Cloak of Christ. This cloak is a sacred container that places your body and soul within the loving energy of the Christ consciousness. This unconditionally loving energy is not limited to the being bearing its name, but is shared by Rumi and many other holy ones. Actually, I'm going to pause for a minute and just say that I'm really glad that this says that, because whatever it is you believe in, apply this message to what you believe in, or who you believe in. If you follow a different spiritual path, a different religion, who is the great one you look to in your time of need and comfort, your time of requiring comfort, affirmation that all will be well. Okay, so I'll continue. Okay. Can you allow yourself to take refuge in this knowledge, to feel it not only as an idea, nourishing as that is, but as a visceral reality where you complete the sacred honoring ritual, and that comes at the end, and allow yourself to feel the peace and receive healing. The knowledge of the Christ's unconditional love for you is a safe place, a place to fall into when you are struggling. It is sacred, a sacred container for your healing process, an energetic field that is stronger and more enduring than even the greatest fears or doubts. The purpose of the sacred container is to provide you with the feeling of being held, especially for those times when you are feeling that you cannot hold yourself. Sometimes we just need permission to break down, to really let go, to come apart and be disassembled so that we can break through and be lifted up and come together in a new, more spiritually coherent and loving form to move forward. For you, this is essential. There is a person, place, thing, or belief that has come to be like a manacle around your wrist, or an iron ball and leg iron, preventing you from moving forward with the grace you have earned spiritually. You are being empowered here to shed that. Don't hesitate. Let yourself be cloaked in the Christ energy and receive the spiritual assistance you deserve now. There is a reason for this. The unfolding of your life purpose is taking a turn for the better, and your energy is required to fuel that new life. This is particularly so if you have also drawn, there is another card it mentions, or intuitively feel drawn to read the message of that card and complete its accompanying sacred honoring ritual. So they're making mention of a different card. Just remember that whenever we are asked to release something, it is because the divine wishes to fill our hearts and hands with more. Do not hold on to scraps for fear that the feast will be denied to you. Use your nose and smell the feast awaiting you. At the end of this description for this card, there's a mini little ritual that you can say. It's kind of like a little mini prayers it's an affirmation that will help to really bring the energy of this card, the feeling of being divinely protected, into your heart so that you really feel it. Okay? I think it's very interesting that I pulled this card, and the question I asked when I was pulling this card was, what do people who especially will find my channel, my YouTube channel, and will listen to this video, what do they need to hear at this time, right now, with what's going on in the world? And this is the card that came up. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to read the sacred honoring ritual, and feel free to do it if you like, if you feel called to, or you can just listen to me reading it, okay? All right. The sacred honoring ritual for this card. And let me show this once more. It's a card of divine protection. Protection from the divine. Protection from coming down from the divine to protect you, to comfort you during this time. Okay? So here's the sacred honoring ritual for this card. Open your arms wide above your head and tip your gaze gently up toward the heavens. Lower your arms to a prayer position at your heart and say aloud, if you want to, Rumi and Jesus Christ, who love me without condition. Or you can even insert the name of another sacred being into this. You who love me without condition, please offer me the cloak of the Christ, the mantle of divine protection now, that I may receive the karmic grace and healing I need through the power and mercy of your presence. Thank you. Now sit quietly and imagine you are surrounded by a dark comforting cloak, that it's soft and it's cushy and you can easily breathe through it. You can easily see light through it, filtering through. Or you may even imagine it as a cloak of stars, the starry night sky wrapping around you. Close your eyes and relax for now, for as long as it feels good. They may be for a minute, for 15 or 20 minutes, or longer. Just be with what feels appropriate and best for you at this time. When you feel ready, put your hands to your heart and say, "Thank you." You may notice different sensations or emotions come to you. It may be very subtle, but the effect will be demonstrated at the right time. Have trust and faith. So if you were called to listen to this, I hope that it helped to soothe you and bring you comfort. Just breathe. You're going to be okay. Just take in a few deep breaths. Imagine being surrounded by divine protection. You are safe here and now. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Peace, love, and blessings to you.